Well, hello. Welcome back to How I Compose Music. I'm your host, Christopher Paul, and you can see my cheat page right here. I just started it. It's kind of like brand new, and things are moving along a little slow here. That's okay. I'm just doing this for other reasons. Um, well, I'm going to jump right into it. This is part 3 in a series. I just started a new project. It's a demo composition. Here's part 1, there's part 2. And when I left off last time, at the end of part 2, I had drawn these trajectories, just basically tracing the curves of the sine wave that I had, I've been using. And then I wanted to trace these. And well, I had done that. There's the trajectories, and then I did this and traced these. And this isn't graph paper. It's just grid lines, so it's not stable. I needed to actually put this on graph paper, so I did. And you get this. And what you see here is C4, that's middle C. And I chose that as a primary pitch axis just because it is between, it's kind of like between the left and right hand on the piano. It's like right in the middle. That's why they call it middle C. That's why I'm using it. It's just easy. Like anything up here, might be played on the right hand, and anything down here might be played on the left hand. And let's see. I marked this off like this. 1 unit squares a unit, or T equals time unit. It's 1/4, or crouch it, and I put it at 100 beats per minute. And here's what it looks like this zoomed out. And when I did this, I don't know if I don't know what happened before, but there was a couple of mishaps in there, and Bob Ross points those out where I slipped. But it doesn't matter. I'm only sketching. This isn't an exact science here. I'm just sketching a sine wave. That I created from a visual stretch of a tiny fragment of a 12-second audio clip I got from just filming out the window across at the lake for like 12 seconds. And like a car went by, and then like there was this big wind gust, and the wind gust was like pretty interesting to work with, so I did, and I picked it apart and I stretched it out so I can view the wave, and I took a photo, and it's come to this. And I took it a step further and put it in Reaper. And this is just my dummy. Like I was tracing, I was just not tracing, but crossing off the lines as I was inputting the notes into Reaper manually. So it went from graph paper to actually something I could hear musically and work with, form of MIDI data. And I noticed toward the end here, you think of Bob Ross, you think of Happy Trees, so I started I did this before, see if I can recreate it. If I do this, kind of make the happy trees, I didn't mean to paint over Bob Ross. do that, and maybe give it some terrain. And, sky's blue. Yeah. Give it the dandy looking sun. Whatever. Well, that's a nice photo. Here's what it looks like when I put it into Reaper. There's the sine wave, there's the melody notes. There they are. If we were to zoomed in. So you can kind of maybe, you can like see the similarity here. Sort of. That's what that looks like. That's what this looks like. And I color coded these. One for each trajectory. It's either going to be a blue, purple, or green going in which each going in a different direction. There's only 4 possible directions there that I used. So but if I look at this, here's what the actual musical notes are. Each trajectory, like this is the first one, this is the blue one. So here's the notes for it. They're all separated by double bar lines. So I just kind of manually copied the music here for the purity of it all, because I could have copied a MIDI file over, but if I copy a MIDI file over, it's going to have velocity in it and maybe some MIDI junk and that I don't want in there. I like to enter things in Sibelius with the mouse. So I did, and here it is, it's color-coded. And I started doing this. Let me erase it. Everything's color-coded here. And I'll end up breaking this maybe in a different time signature. This was one of my thoughts, and I can do anything I want with this now that it's in here. Here's what it sounds like at the moment. I won't play a lot of it, just 10 seconds more or something. It's just like a direct result of what I copied, basically, the way I traced things. This is just something to get me in the ballpark. I'm just trying to make a piece of music from scratch, and it's only been like a handful of days. And, I could have very well just been sitting around thinking about what I wanted to compose. But here I'm actually working on something. I just took a quick video out the window, big deal. But I've got it this far. And I had this idea that I was going to create maybe flip one of these, each one of these color-coded sections, flip it upside down and backwards. Or in other words, give it a C inversion and create some counterpoint that way. And if that works out, I'll have 2 contrapuntal lines. And if that works out, I might be able to flip this whole Grant Staff, copy it, and then flip that over completely. And create 2 more variations, and maybe I can make a string quartet out of this. Or at the least, maybe I can always just keep this on piano, whatever I want to do. I don't know where I'm going with it yet. These are just ideas I've had kicking around in my head. And what I had done already, let's see. thing I deleted, I had done just that. I flipped it over and put it backwards. And I might not want it so high in the piece. And let's see what that sounds like. All right. Sounding a little dingy towards the end there. But if I kept it going and copied this to here and flip it over backwards, or retrograde pitches and rhythms, and then invert it around middle C chromatically, not diatonically, chromatically, for reasons. Because it's like graph paper, you know, so I want it to be chromatic. If it was diatonic, I'd be choosing certain musical intervals, and I don't want to get that messed up with it. But this looks like it should come down. It's gonna be with this one. So let's see what that sounds like. So that might sound like total crap when I'm done. But let me see. I'm gonna take it a couple of steps further. I'm just gonna do the next two before I do something else. So here we are. Same thing I did before. At that time. And then the same thing I did before. Copy it, paste it, retrograde it, invert it, lower it an octave. So, if I just play this section, and let me see. I'm going to loop it. I'm going to loop it so it plays over and over again on a loop. Just for okay, it sounds sort of cool, but I wonder here if I, just in this section alone, if I remove the accidentals, so there's no sharps or flats, what does it sound like now? Okay, well that sounds a little bit better. So maybe that's something that I might want to do. I'm going to undo that for now. Keep what I did, and I'm going to have to go through and do what I said I was going to do all the way to the end here. There's 310 bars of one crotchet apiece. And after I'm done creating this contrapuntal thing, then I'll decide maybe whether or not I want to put it on, I want to reverse the entire thing and make two more parts, or how do I want to handle that. But for right now, I'm just going to concentrate on this step, and I'm going to leave it hanging here. I'm going to leave part 3 off and return in part 4 after I complete that. So thanks for joining me. Subscribe and junk. Okay.